I'm Kitty Clash, also known as Morgan J. I am sad to announce that I am going on hiatus from Neopets. I am a long-term Neopets fanatic. I have been playing the site since I was 8 years old. My current account is from, I believe it was year 9, so 2007, and I absolutely love the site. I love Neopets. I grew up playing it. I am still very much so obsessed with the site, and I have been playing like every single day almost for the last a long time now, basically, for a very, very long time. Sometimes I'll miss a day here and there, but there are just a variety of factors that make me realize the site is not the site that I grew up playing, and there are just many things that make me very frustrated. So the straw that broke the camel's back was the quest log integrating with mobile apps. In case you don't know, I used to play Pet Pet Park, which I really, really loved. I spent a great deal of NeoCash, or I think Nick Cash as it was also known at the time, on wearables for my pet pet. Pet Pet Park closed down, and I no longer have access to any of the wearables that I spent real-world money on. I also played Key Quest, discontinued, Habitarium, discontinued, Treasure Keepers, discontinued, and so I am not willing to play any more, like, mobile games from Neopets. I basically have already lost all trust that I have in the idea that this company will keep games running. And so I am not at all interested in playing Tales of Dakardia, or however you say it, or Fairy Fragments. I have zero interest in these. I am only interested in the traditional, what are they calling it now? Neopets Classic? Like, I'm only interested in the Neopets website itself. And there's supposedly like, oh, if you link your account to NeoPass, which it's like, I'm not gonna bother doing that. It's gonna give you 500,000 Neo points, and if you link your NeoPass account to the mobile game Neopets Tales Dakardia, it gives you like 200,000 Neo points. So like, okay, one-time thing, bad enough. But they're also doing what looks to be like weekly quests as well. Like, it looks like a situation where if you're doing the Tales of Darkardia and like the Fairy Fragment stuff on an ongoing basis, you're gonna actually earn like stuff on the Neopets website. And it feels really unfair to me that the people who are doing these other apps are getting like additional prizes on a daily or weekly basis on the Neopets website itself. So those of us who are only interested in the traditional Neopets experience are getting penalized because we don't want to sign up for these other games. And to me, that's just spitting in my face as a long-term Neopets player. That is, honestly, it makes me feel like a second-class citizen on a site that I've been loyal to for many, many years. And that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Another thing that really bothers me is I pre-ordered the Neopets Monopoly. I've also pre-ordered the Kickstarter, and on, like, I learned on Jelly Neo that, okay, today is actually recording the 25th, so June 25th, 2025, or the 25th day of Relaxing Year 27. The withdrawer deposit avatar becomes more widely available, posted by Kenny on June 25th, 2025 at 6:22 a.m. NST. Shipments of the Monopoly Neopets 25th Anniversary Celebration Edition have started to arrive to some buyers. And what irritates me is the fact that I pre-ordered this, and it's already arriving to people, yet I haven't even received like the shipping notification for it. And I really didn't like how the hats situation was handled, because I remember with the hats, like, I initially received a box that only had 2 of the hats, and then I had to like contact support and stuff, and it was just a whole rigmarole. Like, I ordered like the pack that was supposed to have 3 hats, but it gave me like 2 hats, and then I got like, I think 2 separate packages by the time stuff was said and done, with the Aisha hat separate. And it's like, clearly that situation was handled really, really badly, because it's like, it was a nightmare getting a hold of like support, because I think I had to like do stuff through like the ticket system, and it's just the way they handled the shipping on that like made me really hesitant to want to buy from like Neopets again. My shirt is actually from Cakeworthy, who I think handle shipping better, typically speaking. But after that whole situation with the hats, like, I was just very hesitant to order from the Neopets site again, and it really irritates me that it's like there are people who are already receiving the monopoly, and yet I haven't received my shipping notification. Like, that's just really frustrating. It tells me, like, why are they sending this out, like, unequally? And it also irritates me when companies will, like, oh, they'll have, like, their early bird, but there'll be influencers who will get the stuff even earlier than the people who are paying for it. And it's just, I don't like the way they're handling this. I had hoped that they would have improved from the situation with the hats. But yeah, I don't like how it's like there are people already getting the item and I don't even have a shipping notification. And I was one of the people who bought the early bird monopoly. And also the whole situation with the way they were handling the avatar for that was just a mess. And also the whole situation with their current, like, survey thing where they're supposedly releasing some, like, lost desert avatar that I don't think was properly released in the first place to people who win some competition thing. And to me, it's like, that just seems rubbish. Like, the way they're handling that seems rubbish. I don't fully understand that one because I think Jelly Neo posted about it. But I don't like the way that they're handling things anymore. So yeah, I'm very frustrated with basically some of the ways that, like, avatars are starting off as being, like, locked behind, like, really niche requirements. Like, the way they were going to do the Skeeth avatar initially, supposedly it was going to be like a code on the side of Monopoly box, but then they changed it to an item that you get if you bought the Monopoly, and, like, if you play with that item, your pet plays with that item, it'll give you the avatar. So at least this one, it's, like, not locked behind a paywall anymore, I guess. I mean, technically it kind of is, but if you can buy the item from someone else on the site, then technically you don't have to spend real world money to buy the avatar. And also, like, on Neopets, they usually do, if it's something where you can get an avatar from an item, oftentimes people will loan that item to each other. So theoretically it's not behind a paywall this time. But I don't like the way they've been handling, like, certain things, like re-releases of stuff too. Like with the Altador Cup, which is a whole another issue where it's like, with the Altador Cup, they were re-releasing certain items, and it's like, it just feels like the way they're doing re-releases sometimes ends up, like, flooding the market and severely devaluing items that used to be extremely sought after. And so, like, just the economy in general on Neopets is very tumultuous right now. And here's the thing. I've never been particularly fond of the Altador Cup. But I don't like how they redid it this year, where it's turned into a show up every day, click a thing, you get an item. It feels like a ripoff/knockoff of the advent calendar, or maybe like the Neopets, which I also don't care much for. And especially, okay, this time at least they let you turn off the premium thing. Like, it was like this thing where it's like, if you have premium you get a bonus item, and it's just like, this isn't the Altador Cup to me. And here's the thing, I don't even like the Altador Cup. I know there are people who absolutely love it and are fanatics of the Altador Cup. You do you. I understand that, like, you love that. That's an important part of the Neopets experience to you. And I think that TNT has screwed y'all over. I think it's really unfair how they handled the Altador Cup this year with the re-releases of stuff, and it wasn't fun. And it feels like, to me, Neopets is turning into something of a chore, to the point where it's like, I just am not having fun anymore. There's nothing to look forward to on this site that I love. And even just stuff like NeoQuest, like, I remember, like, when I was a kid, like, oh, I used to love NeoQuest, and now it's like, okay, sometimes, like, the page will, like, stop loading. Like, I was playing NeoQuest on Twitch, like, earlier this year, and it's just like, this isn't fun. This just isn't fun. And I think part of it's also the fact that it's like, sometimes the page will take forever to load, or the guides that people used to use are like, the only way to get to them is through like archive.org, because the old guide no longer exists, or like the music doesn't work, so I have to find it on YouTube. So it's like features that I used to enjoy on the site, it's like, these don't work anymore. So yeah, I'm not having a lot of fun anymore, which is really, really frustrating. And the other issue that's been an ongoing thing is the moderation. Just the way the moderation is working. Specifically, like, it really feels one-sided to be very really unfair. Sorry, this one and this one. So, in case you don't know, Herdy is actually one of the ambassadors, and Herdy is a very beloved member of the Neopets community. He was a prolific writer for the Neopian Times back in the day. Like, he wrote a great deal of series, like ongoing series. I remember I really liked his one about the insurance salesman, Oscar the Kajik, or something like that. And he also wrote about, like, was it Mr. Jennings the Croc? I loved his stories when I was a kid. I used to love reading the Neopian Times and playing the Neopian Adventure Generator. But he is beloved in the Neopets community, both from being like a writer. I think does he still work for Jelly Neo? I know he was doing stuff with Jelly Neo at one point, and he's an ambassador. And he has been one of the people who has actually like reached out to the LGBTQI plus side of the Neopets community to like check in on us and ask for feedback. Like, he's been listening. He actually listens to our grievances. So Herdy has been a wonderful advocate. And what I found out from Neoboard on side events topic, I think that's Hubert Knox emoticon, Altador Cup, your feedback for TNT, Hubert Knox emoticon, author Herdy created 24th June 2025 at 6 a.m. The post was, well, I got warned, so the previous board was deleted. Sorry about that, folks, but it means your feedback was lost. So yeah, Neopets has this issue where, like, if someone's warned, all of their posts disappear, and if the creator of a board gets warned, all of the entire board, like the entire thread, disappears, as well as all the comments. But so Herdy was warned, and it's like, this guy has never, as far as I know, like, he's never been a bad person. Like, he is someone who would never intentionally break Neopets' rules. So it makes me feel like something more is going on with this story. And he's been an advocate for LGBTQI plus rights. So, like, are they penalizing him for standing up for us? So again, please provide your feedback on the Grey Year Altador Cup. As the previous board mentioned, I'll also be re-feeding back the 3 rounds of AC stuff I've gathered, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, what we get from this is Herdy was warned, and he's not someone who'd ever do anything bad. And then at 8:01 a.m. NST on 24th June 2025. Ambassadors have to follow this rules, same as everyone else. That said, it was for a post I made a while ago on a dead board, which I personally do not think breached the rules in any way when read in context. But the warning happened, and there's no takebacks with deleted boards, so we just have to roll with it. So Herdy is very diplomatic. That is something that I really ought to applaud him for, is he has incredible diplomacy skills. Like, I would not be that polite. Let's just be real, I would not be that polite. But yeah, it's like, it feels to me like, why would they warn him? He is not someone who would ever do anything wrong, which makes me wonder, are they doing this as, like, penalization for the fact that he stands up for LGBTQIA plus rights, because there is an issue with transphobia on the boards of, like, trans people being warned for talking about, like, oh, hormone replacement therapy, or standing up against harassment, yet harassers are still on the site, like, unpenalized, and not being, like, moderated themselves in a timely manner. So to me, like, Neopets, it's to the point where I believe wholeheartedly Neopets has a transphobia issue with moderation. Like, the bigotry is so ongoing to the point where it's like, I don't have faith that they're trying to do the right thing anymore. There's also the issue that the person who is doing the Pride Volunteers needed board on the general Neopets discussion, Demi Lovato Lover 3275, and you'll notice a lot of people on Neopets made our accounts when we were quite younger than we are now, and so some of us have unique names. But Demi Lovato Lover 3275, which is a mouthful, goes by Noah, and he uses he/they pronouns. And the person says on their, I know that from their user lookup. A lot of times people will have like Neo signatures and stuff, but I turn those off because of the ongoing issue with cookie grabbers on the site. That's a whole nother story. But I turn those off. So I can't see if people have pronouns in their bios or not. Like their Neo signatures or not. So I went to this person's lookup. And it says, I am 28 and in graduate school, I play Neo to take brain breaks, frequent PCer, which means pound chatter. My inbox is always open. And so this person is like a very beloved person in the LGBTQI plus community on Neopets. And this person is doing a lot of stuff where like they're actively, they are actively working to create like a little pride event on Neopets on, oh, that's tomorrow, June 26th through June 28th. And like they're an active member of the community and do the Pride Volunteers Needed board. And it, like they say, all my boards taken down because of a petty user, so let's try this again. So that tells me this person was either warned or silenced, because boards go poof if you, like, the creator of them gets warned or silenced. So to me, that says this person was warned or silenced. And it frustrates me that active like supporters or active advocates of the LGBTQI plus community on Neopets are getting warned or silenced, or in some cases like some of them are also getting like frozen. And I mean, I'm trying to remember, like, I'm trying to remember on like Vera, for instance, like how many of Vera's accounts did Vera get back by the time like everything was said and done. But like there, like, I don't know if some of the people who were like frozen actually got their accounts like unfrozen or not. And there's also the issue of like, with silencings, if someone's silenced, they can't post on the boards anymore. And so it's like, how many people were victimized that we just don't know because they can't speak on the Neo boards anymore. So yeah, and like there is also the issue that like a lot of the people on the Discord, the Neopets Discord, basically were so fed up with the way that Neopets was handling the moderation that they actually like quit the site. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. Like, I'm going on hiatus. Like, I'm not like free. What's the word? There's a way you can like self-ice your account, which I'm not doing. Like, I'm not doing that, but I'm going on hiatus. I'm stopping playing the site. I plan to probably, realistically, I plan to come back at Halloween, because there's usually like this little goodie bag thing, little trick-or-treat event that I always used to look forward to. So I think I'll probably come back at Halloween and see how I'm feeling then. But I'm really frustrated about just a lot of things on the site. Like, the lack of new content is one thing, but trying to like use Neopets as a way to drum up support for mobile apps, like that's the point where it's like, okay, y'all are looking at abandoning ship at some point. Like, to me that's like, oh, this sounds like they're trying to potentially phase out Neopets. Like, that's just my vibe. That's what I'm getting here. Like, that's the impression I have of the fact that they're trying to like use Neopets to recruit people to their mobile apps. That to me shows, oh, they're not putting their first and foremost towards Neopets anymore. Like, are they planning to phase out the site? And so I don't want to put more energy onto something that feels actively like it's like being squeezed of its juice. Like, it feels like Neopets is being I don't know, like it's an intellectual property that's being squeezed for all it's worth, rather than actively being built up and tried to make into a better site again. Like, I miss the Neopets of my childhood. This is not the Neopets of my childhood. It's boring. The economy is trash. Basically, there's the issue of like, there are certain items that it's like basically impossible to get, but the way TNT is fixing this is completely unbalanced. It's like re-releasing this, re-releasing that to the point where it's worthless, and it's like there's no reason to like how do I put this? Like, I have a lot of items in my safety deposit box that it's like I've been holding on to as investments, and it's like, well, no, these are now worthless. So like, I feel bad about that too, because a lot of us on the site are hoarders. Like, I feel like I'm a hoarder on Neopets. Like, my safety deposit box is a mess. Like, I have a bunch of items that it's like I don't know what to do with. And that's another issue, is the safety deposit box. Like, it's impossible to sort through. Like, it's just by number that the item was added to on the site, and they need quality of life improvements to make the safety deposit box usable again, because it's like if I don't know the exact name of something, like I can't easily sort through what all I have, and it's like these items are just taking up space in my deposit box, and it's like I don't know what's even worth stuff anymore. Like, I guess there's the item database thing on Jelly Neal where there's a checker for your safety deposit box, but it's just like I don't know. There's also the issue that a lot of times, like, there aren't as many active players on the site as there used to be. So even if you try to sell something in your shop, it's like, is this going to get sold right away? Even if you price certain things competitively, it's like, is this going to get sold? So it's just like the economy isn't as fun as it used to be because there aren't as many people on the site to keep things moving. And there's just really outrageous inflation. Like, back in my day, a million Neopoints used to be a lot of money. And, like, I think it was right of them to raise the shop limit to 999,999 Neopoints. But the thing is, items are just, like, more expensive than they used to be, and it's easier to get Neopoints than it used to be, and so the economy is just all over the place. And it's just, the economy, honestly, is what kept me on the site for so long. And it's just like the economy doesn't sound fun to me anymore. Like, I don't know, like I ended up selling my, what was that, 3D Camp AAA stamp for 300 million Neopoints, and after that it's like I can buy anything I want other than the Booktastic books, basically. So it's like, what else do I have to keep me on the site? Like, NeoQuest isn't fun. I can only buy so many wooden snowflake sculptures because those only restock so fast, and because people are like not constantly restocking and putting them in their shops, it's like they never go back down in price, and so I can't finish my tiling project on my classic Neo home. And it's like, with my pets, what goals do I really have? I can train my little walkie, but it's like there's nothing to do in the battle dome. Like, basically all of the opponents it can be beat. Well, maybe not some of the hard level ones, but like most of the opponents, it's like my pet can beat. What's the point of training my little walkie further? Like, with the plot, there was no like real point in training your pet above level 50. Like, you could beat them with like lens flare and like magic marbles of mystery or whatever. So yeah, the opponents just don't scale to make it worth continuing to train my little Battle Dome pet. And it's like customization, no, I like that on Pet Pet Park, but not on Neopets. Like, I'm not super into customization anymore. And also just like the closet's laggy, and it's just not really easy to sort through what items I want to put on my pet. And it's like, what else is there to keep me on the site? My pets? I love them to pieces, but it's like at some point I guess I grow up. Like, I loved my pets. I've been very attached to my pets. They're my little darling angels. But at the end of the day, they are pixels on a screen. And so it's like I only have so much emotional attachment to them. Like, I was much more attached to them when I was younger, but it's like at this point, it's like, I don't know. Like, I used to roleplay with friends and create little backstories for my pets, but the thing is, like, that was when I was like 13. And the friends I used to roleplay with don't play Neopets really anymore. And so it's like there's no real purpose for me to like dote on my little virtual pixels anymore. Like, I don't know, like, they'll always be memories to me, but it's like I just don't get joy logging onto the site every day to like brush my pet, feed my pet, take my pet on a tiki tour, like that sort of thing. It's like, I'm not getting enjoyment out of doing that anymore. It feels like a chore to do that like every day, and it's like to the point where I'm like just chucking my pets in the Neo Lodge. So yeah, I don't know, it's like but my pets will always have a special place in my heart, but it's like they're less meaningful to me than they once were, or like they used to mean the world to me, but like anymore it's like more memories rather than something that I'm actively building. And like, I remember, I think I saw a YouTube video once about like how you'll only ever experience like the first time reading a book one time, and like there's a, like you'll read it and you'll hear the characters, like, they'll develop and you're experiencing the characters growing. And if you reread that book again, the characters are stagnant because you already know their progression. They'll never say another new word ever again. And that's kind of how I feel with my Neopets. Like, I created the backstories for them, but I'm no longer developing those stories. Like, they're no longer making new memories. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to go on hiatus. Like, Neopets is at the point where I'm not getting enjoyment out of it anymore. It feels like it's a chore. So yeah, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me, and I hope that wherever you are on your Neopets journey, that you have a great day. Take care.